Welcome back folks, I'm Lloyd Purvis and this is Run4Adventure. Hope you are all fit and well out there and training hard. If you've followed the channel for some time now, you'll know that we like to sort of produce fun and interesting and varied running related content for you guys at home. And we feel at the moment that we've been quite running shoe review heavy with all the latest releases of shoes coming out this time of the year. So we are back today with another review, but it is a review with a difference. So we're going to be talking you through, showing you some really interesting and exciting products from a company called Nitecore. Now, if you haven't heard of the company Nitecore before, they are a tech company from China that tends to focus on lighting and power solution products, from hand torches, bike lights, weapon lights, power packs, and of course head torches. They're having a big push at the moment into the trail running market, and they're actually going to be at the Race Expo at UTMB, where they're going to be launching some new exciting and very sort of trail running specific products. So let's go through a few of the goodies that we got sent down to test and review at the channel from the kind folk of Nitecore. And first up is their UT32 1100 lumen head torch. This is actually the first coaxial dual output headlamp in the lighting industry, but we'll go into that in a bit more detail in a minute. To power the head torch, we got sent a micro USB 3400 milliamp rechargeable battery. A nice little touch from Nitecore. Literally plug your micro USB lead into the side of the battery to charge it up, so nice and simple. And another headlamp we got sent is their super lightweight, very compact NU25 Headtorch. It might be light, it might be compact, but this can still throw out 360 lumens, and I think it makes a great sort of entry-level head torch. Along with the lighting options, we also got sent a couple of other handy bits of tech. The first one being this super light carbon fiber 10,000 milliamp power pack. I tend to carry a power pack quite often in my longer races to charge head torch batteries or my running watch, but this just happens to be the most compact and lightest 10,000 milliamp power pack in the world. Okay, a really handy item though, but my personal favourite has to be the NW30 emergency whistle from Nitecore. So if you come unstuck out on the trails and you feel you're in a tricky situation and you want to alert someone, then this little bit of tech will do the job, and do the job really well. Rather than huffing and puffing into a normal standard whistle, and let's be honest, them whistles we kind of rely on our running vests, running packs, aren't that good, and I don't think they draw a lot of attention. So all you have to do is activate this little battery operated whistle and it will let out 120 decibel buzz every 10 seconds. But it doesn't stop there. If you activate this whistle at night, it'll also give off a 360 degree 2000 lumen beacon light. How cool is that? So there you have it, lots of great Nitecore products to talk about, but let's go through each item in a bit more detail, and then we'll go through the things we've enjoyed about the products and maybe highlight any things we feel that could be improved. But let's start with the head torches first. The UT32 Headtorch retails in the UK for £73.95. It weighs in at a pretty light 82.5 grams, and like I said before, it is the first ever coaxial dual output head torch in the lighting industry. So what that means is you've basically got two light sources worked into the headlamp itself. So on the front here, we've got the cool white light that is powered by an XP L2 V6 LED, and with that on turbo mode, you'll get 100% true vision flood that will give you 1100 lumens of brightness and a 1 hour 30-minute burn time. High power will give you 410 lumens and 3 hours and 45 minutes of run time. Then you've got mid power, 200 lumens and 8 hours, and lastly you get the low power, which is 70 lumens, and that will give you a whopping 18 hours of burn time. Then if we spin the head torch round, we've got the warm white light on the other side. So this is powered by an XPL V6 LED. It's going to give you very similar performance figures as the other light does, but it's got a much more penetrating beam. So on top mode, this will give you around 900 lumens, but the beam distance is going to be about 117 meters compared to the 80 meters that you get from the other cool white light. The lights are controlled by a dual switch interface, so really easy, one-handed, fast access to the lighting mode that you desire. And it also comes with a SOS and beacon mode of 1100 lumens, so some really nice little safety features worked in as well. The torch is constructed from aero grade aluminium alloy, and then it has this military grade hard anodized finish, so it feels really solid, really well engineered. When it comes to the strap, it is fully adjustable, elasticated, and it has lots of tiny perforations to make it very breathable. We got some nice rubber grippers up front to stop any movement of the head torch when you're running, and we got some nice high-vis detailing on that band as well. It also comes with a top strap if you wanted to add that to the head strap just for a bit of extra security. Another nice feature, really easy to unclip that head strap from the head torch unit when you want to give it a clean. Moving on to the lighter and less powerful NU25, and even though it is a very compact and lightweight head torch, it's still packed full of some great features. So when it comes to brightness and burn time on full power turbo mode, you will get 360 lumens from this little unit, but you will only get 30 minutes of burn time at that power. Then if you drop it down to high, you'll get 190 lumens and 5 hours of burn time. Mid is 38 lumens, so definitely not good enough for running, but ideal for camping and stuff like that, and you'll get a prolonged 8 hours of burn time. But you also get some of the great features from the more powerful head torch, so you get that SOS and beacon mode, and you've got the added bonus of a red light feature in this little unit, so great for sort of close proximity lighting, but also good if you don't want to blind people with a super powerful head torch. Powering the little light is an inbuilt rechargeable battery, super simple to charge up with the micro USB cable the torch comes with. We've got the port on the bottom of the torch with a nice rubber covering, so no dust, no water can penetrate the torch. It has a waterproof rating of IP66, and it will withstand impacts of up to 1.5 meters. We have a nice tilt on that head torch, so 60-degree angles of tilt, so you can set it up and adjust it to where you want it. As far as the head strap, very similar to the other torch, fully adjustable, elasticated, and it has those rubber grippers on the front of that head strap just to stop any movement while you're running. The NU25 Headtorch weighs in at a super light 53 grams, and that's including that internal rechargeable battery weight as well, so a super light unit, and it's available in the UK for £38.95. So moving on to the next item, and it is the NB 10,000 milliamp power pack. Nitecore have an extremely extensive range of power packs, something to suit everyone, and they've got some power packs with some pretty impressive performance, and this one is no exception. Being made from carbon fibre, the pack is super lightweight and very durable, so it's going to offer great levels of protection to that 10,000 milliamp battery that's housed inside. It retails in the UK for £57.95, and it has a really handy sort of power display built in, so 3 blue lights that shows the charging levels and the power levels within the battery. It can function at temperatures as low as -10 and up to 40 degrees, and it has some great sort of safety features built in as well. So it comes with an overcurrent, a short circuit, an overcharge, and an over voltage protection, so a lot of protection, and it has a shower proof rating of IPX5, so it's going to be well protected when using it in tough weather conditions. And moving on to the last item, and it is the brilliant NWE30 emergency electric whistle. Now, we're going to go through this product a little bit different. It's nice and dark outside, so let's get out there and let's give this emergency whistle a thorough testing. So we have come out in the pitch darkness of the Hale Towers. There's not a lot of light pollution out here, that's for sure. And we've got our NWE30 emergency whistle with us. So the plan is, I'm going to head that way about 500 yards, and then we're going to set this beauty off. So we should get a 2000 lumen strobe light, and we should also get that 120 decibel whistle. So it's going to be a great test for it in this hostile nighttime environment. So we're going to get the head torch on, and then we're heading off that way. See you soon. Right, so we are about 500 yards out. I got the whistle in my hand. I have no idea how loud this is going to be or how bright it's going to be. I haven't set it off yet, so when I twist the bass, we should get 120 decibel whistle, and we should have a 2000 lumen strobe going off as well. So let's turn the bass and let's see what happens. I hope that's coming across on camera. It is super bright when that strobe light flashes, and I'm having a shout because it is super loud as well. What a great bit of kit. Definitely would get you out of some tricky situations. But I'm gonna stop shouting. We're gonna head back to Liga where the camera is. So let's turn this off. Okay, stop it, be quiet. Right, let's get running. Oh, I'm out of breath. Wowzers. I think that was a pretty successful test. Once I figured out how to work it, literally unscrew the bottom, wait a few seconds, that 120 decibel buzzer goes off, and then it emits that 2000 lumen strobe. I don't know how it looked on the camera, but over there it was super bright and it was really loud. So what a great bit of kit. Anyway, let's get out of the dark, let's get home, and let's carry on this review. Back to the safe confinements of home, but to be fair, it's pretty safe out on the Towers of Hale down here in Cornwall at night time. But it was really good to give the electric emergency whistle a proper testing in nighttime conditions. And there's one thing for sure, it was proper dark out there this evening. So that is the products that we have been testing down here at Run4Adventure from Nitecore. But I think it's about time we wrap this review up with a quick conclusion and dive into a few more details about the things we've really enjoyed while using the products, and maybe highlight a few of the areas we feel it could be improved. The UT32 Headtorch has performed really well on all the runs I've used it on. Having that 1100 lumens on max output on turbo mode, using that cool white light, great level of brightness that's going to light up the trails ahead of you, no matter how technical those trails are. And to be fair, even on the mid setting of 410 lumens, it gives you enough brightness to handle most situations. Being a nice lightweight construction, the torch fits really comfortably on the head, and I've had no issues with movement while I'm out running with it. I think a lot of that comes from these handily placed rubber grippers on the inside of the head strap, makes the torch feel very stable on the head, so a nice little feature. The strap itself is made from very soft fabric, so again it sits really comfortably on the head, and we've got all these tiny perforations worked around that head strap, so it's felt nice and breathable. The added bonus of lots of high vis on that head strap. I'm always a big fan of having high vis on our running kit. Really simple one-hand operation on the head torch, so turning it on and off or flicking through the modes to the desired setting you want couldn't be any simpler. And I thought it was great having two different light sources on the torch, and I was surprised how different the performance was. So the cool white light at 1000 lumens on turbo mode, traditional kind of head torch light, very bright, very white. But when I flicked over to that warmer light, it gives you a kind of amber tone to the light. And I was quite surprised how that light shows up the undulations in the ground a bit better. So lumps, bumps, rabbit holes, rocks, they just stood out a bit more. Whereas that sort of bright white traditional light can sometimes flatten the terrain off underfoot. So all in all, the UT32 has been a pretty solid unit, but there is a couple of things I feel could be improved, and a couple of them have left me a little bit disappointed. So yes, you do get a max power output of 1100 lumens, but unfortunately the burn time at that power is only an hour and a half. So not very long at all. And I know that happens with a lot of head torches, and it wouldn't be an issue because obviously I can drop it down to mid mode. 410 lumens is still a very bright light and will handle most trail situations. But even on mid mode, you only get 3 hours 45 minutes, and that's not that long either. When it comes to burn time, for me, it is super important and top of my list. You know, if I'm doing a long 100 miler running through the night, or a long mountain race where I might have to go through 2 nights, I definitely want a longer burn time than that. So take into consideration the arc of attrition. You're running in winter, 100 miles, you're going through a winter night, you're gonna go through with a head torch on your head for about 12 to 13 hours. With the UT32, I'd have to make 2 or 3 battery changes, and That's not really what I want to be doing, faffing around with batteries when I'm feeling sorry for myself running through a long nighttime section. You know, all I want to do when the sun starts to go down in a race is get my head torch out, put it on my head, press the button, turn it on, and then forget about it and not have to worry about it. So I think an increased burn time on the UT32 would definitely improve performance. Now, while we're talking of battery life, the next thing is the torch retails for just under £75 here in the UK. And for that sort of money, you would expect it to come with its own rechargeable battery. Unfortunately, the UT32 doesn't come with a battery, and you actually have to purchase one from Nitecore. Their rechargeable batteries are just under 20 quid, so when you bump them two prices together, the unit's actually coming in at a lot closer to £100. Now, for that sort of money, there's a lot of head torches on the market that will actually give you a lot more lumens on max power and a much more increased burn time on that battery life. So take, for example, the Fenix HMR 65T that we reviewed earlier in the year. That retails for around £105, but that will give you 1500 lumens on max power. But if you drop that down to 400 lumens, it's still a bright light. It will give you around 9 to 10 hours of burn time. So kind of outperforming this head torch on lumens and battery life. Right, moving on to the lighter, less powerful NU25, and I've been really impressed with the amount of power this little tiny compact head torch pushes out. Very comfortable to wear, and in fact so lightweight you can hardly feel you're wearing it. I think it's great that a lot of the features carry over from the more expensive torch. So we got that beacon mode, the SOS mode, but we also get an added bonus of a red light feature, which is a great thing to have on such a little head torch. Now, I'm not convinced it's going to do a particularly good job if you're using it for trail running. Yes, it pumps out 360 lumens, which is great for a small torch, but you're only going to get 30 minutes of use, and that's not even going to get you for a training run. If you drop it down to 190, you do get an extended 5 hours, but I think 190 lumens is pushing it, especially if you're moving at speed on technical trails. I think you want a brighter light than that. I think where this would work really well, because it is fully rechargeable, so again, coming in at about £38, you're gonna save a lot of money on replacing your batteries. I think it will work well as a sort of entry-level road runner's head torch in the winter, or because it's so small and compact, it packs down really small, you can stuff it in your pack. So it would make a good secondary light source, say an emergency light if you did come into any difficulties with your primary light source. So I think that's where the NU25 kind of sits. So there's definitely two standout items from all the products we've tested, and the first has to be the MB10000 power pack from Nitecore. I always tend to carry a power pack with me if I'm doing a 100 miler, UTMB or multi-stage race and I'm not going to be close to power, just to, you know, charge up my watch or my head torch batteries or my phone if I need to. This one, being made of carbon fiber, makes it really lightweight, slim in design, but very robust. And obviously being 10,000 milliamps, you can get lots of charges from it as well. Liga actually tested it out in the Serpent Trail 100K. She took it along with her, charged her phone, charged her watch. She said it was really simple to use. And I've actually been using it when we've been out filming on location to charge up GoPro batteries and secondary lighting sources. So if you're doing a 100 miler or a long multi-stage race and you're going to be away from power from a long time and you need to charge up items, I definitely recommend checking out the MB10000 from Nitecore. It may be small, it may be slim, it may be lightweight, but it packs a powerful punch. Now, I personally think we've saved the best item till last, and it has to be the tiny little emergency electric whistle from Nitecore, the NWE30. Now, I don't know whether it's just me, and there's lots of brands making these, but I've never come across them before, and I think it's a fantastic idea, especially if you're taking on a long race off the beaten track, away from civilization. I think this little whistle could get you out of a very tricky situation. So most long race mandatory kits now have a whistle on them, and most runners, me included, rely on that little plastic whistle you get incorporated in your race vest or race pack. Now, I just wonder, have you properly thought about that whistle on your pack? Have you blown into that whistle? I'm not sure I would want to put my safety in the hands of that whistle, because I've blown into it and it's pretty pathetic. Not a particularly good whistle, but it is a whistle. At just over £30, I think this tiny little safety device is something we should all consider carrying. Having that 120 decibel whistle that's going to go off every 10 seconds, and if you activate this at night, you're going to get that 2000 lumen strobe light. Really simple to set off. It runs off a standard battery, and you're going to get 72 hours of battery time using that. Obviously, carry 2 batteries, 140 hours. Also, if you think about it, if you're in a tricky situation, you're trying to save energy, the last thing you want to be doing is huffing and puffing into a whistle that doesn't actually make any sound or shouting for help. This will do all that for you. So I definitely know it's a tiny little device that I can stick in my dry bag. I won't even know it's there, but it's going to give me peace of mind. So the next time I take on a long, challenging, exposed race, this little whistle is going to be coming with me. So there you have it, guys. That is a wrap on our Nitecore review. Really hope you enjoyed it. Really hope you found it helpful in some way. I've left links in the description below for all the products that are featured in the video if you want to find out any more information. And don't forget, guys, if you are out at Chamonix for UTMB week and you go along to the expo, Nitecore have got a stand there, so go along and say hello, go and check out what they've got to offer. And obviously Run4Adventure's there as well. We're there, so if you see us, please come over, please come and have a chat. It'd be great to meet some of our viewers. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. It's really appreciated. I'm off to pack for a very exciting road trip, but as always, stay safe and keep on running.